What is going on, everyone? Happy Friday evening. How is everyone doing on this amazing Friday? Now, a huge NBA trade just went down. I will get to that in a moment, but I just want to say this is my second attempt at making this live stream. I was out on a Dunkin' run picking up an iced coffee, and I attempted to do the stream from my car, and I wasn't really thinking because I was into the stream, but my windshield was facing the sun, so my phone literally overheated and then it shut down all functionality. So I had to wait for at least maybe 5 minutes before I could actually use and access my phone. So here I am again, second attempt at this live stream, but here we are. I decided to do it in my house where it's a little cooler. I did have my air conditioning going on in my car, but with the sun coming through the windshield, it got a little too hot for the phone. But yes, a big NBA trade just happened today. LeBron James was traded to the Philadelphia 76ers, and the contract is for 2 years, $8 million. So basically he's playing for $4 million a year. So this looks like it has nothing to do with the money. This is strictly a legacy thing with LeBron James. He has, if I recall correctly, he has three championships, and I think within the next year or two he wants to win at least a minimum of another championship. So I think this is the reason he decided to go to Philadelphia. This is a Philadelphia team that already has Brown, Embiid, Maxey. So with the addition of LeBron James, even though he's well past his prime, he's still one of the smartest basketball players in the game, because he's been playing the game for so long. He has a high basketball IQ. And so with the addition of LeBron James, this Philadelphia 76ers team, that pressure is about to ramp up. And anything short of getting to the NBA Finals, or winning the NBA Finals, anything short of that is going to be considered a failure. And so if you look at the rest of the East, who can compete with the 76ers? The New York Knicks. They just won a championship against the San Antonio Spurs, and they showed a lot of grit and heart and determination, because in multiple games in that finals against the Spurs, they were down double digits and they were able to come back. And that was primarily due to San Antonio's lack of shooting. I don't think they had enough shooters, and it allowed the Knicks to come back in multiple games and ultimately win the NBA Finals. Now, with the exception of the New York Knicks can challenge the Sixers, but besides them, if you look at the rest of the East, you have the Detroit Pistons, and they have scoring issues. I don't think they have enough scorers to be taken seriously. Will they be back in the playoffs? Probably. Then you got the Cleveland Cavaliers, and if your best player is Donovan Mitchell, I just don't think you can win an NBA championship with him as your best player. The Boston Celtics, they lost Jaylen Brown. And so I don't think the Celtics will contend this year. Will they make the playoffs? Probably. But I think the NBA, I think the East is going to come down to the Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks. Will there be a surprise team in there? Probably. There typically always is. But if I'm looking at the upcoming NBA season, I could see the Philadelphia 76ers and San Antonio Spurs in the finals. And so, the West is much more difficult than the East. I think the Spurs have a much tougher road to get to the finals than the Philadelphia 76ers will. And if I'm really being honest, I don't really see anyone in the East besides the Knicks challenging the Philadelphia 76ers. Only time will tell. So we will have to see how everything is going to play out. But like I was saying earlier, even though LeBron James is past his prime, I still think he adds a lot of value to any NBA team due to his high basketball IQ. So I think with James, Brown, Embiid, Maxey, they have a good chance of getting to the finals in the East. The greatest competition is obviously the Knicks, but the chances of the New York Knicks repeating as NBA champions are probably slim to none. It's very hard to repeat, to win back-to-back championships. It's very hard to do. It's very hard to get there one time, and to do it all over again and repeat is very difficult. So I know it's early. We're going to have to see how the 76ers team gel together, because they're going to have to all learn how to play together. With the addition of Brown and James, there's going to be a lot of egos on that team, and they're going to have to kind of sort it out. But I think since LeBron James has already been part of a super team with the Miami Heat, I think he knows how to bring guys together and make everything work. But it's going to be interesting to see how this NBA season unfolds. If I had to make my picks, I would probably say the finals is going to be the Philadelphia 76ers versus the San Antonio Spurs. But a lot of times the way you think these things are going to go, typically they don't end up going that way. And so, yeah, time will tell, but we're going to have to let the NBA season play out, and the cards will fall as they may. But yeah, anyone that comes across this live stream, if you're an NBA fan, definitely feel free to comment down below and let me know what your favorite NBA team is, who you're rooting for. But yeah, I'm not really excited about this. I'm kind of tired of super teams. The last super team we had was the Golden State Warriors when Kevin Durant decided to go there. And so, I would consider the 76ers a super team. So hopefully when LeBron James retires, these super teams will hopefully cease to exist, because I'm not a big fan of them. I don't think it's good for the league as a whole. That's why I kind of liked this past year, because there was no super team, and the Knicks kind of came out of nowhere to win the NBA Finals. I don't think anyone picked them to win the finals at the start of the NBA season. And if I had to make a prediction, I would have the Sixers winning between 55 and 60 games. I want to put them much above that, because there's a lot of things to work out. There's a lot of things to iron out. All these guys are going to have to figure out how to play with one another. Yeah, that's my prediction. I could be wrong, but I think the 76ers, they definitely have an easier path in the East. And I think LeBron James, I think he went to the East intentionally. It's an easier path to the finals. And, with the addition of Jaylen Brown already being in Philadelphia, I think that made the decision to go to Philadelphia more appealing for LeBron James. And so I think LeBron, even though he has a big ego, I think he will be able to take a little bit of a back seat to Jaylen Brown and, Maxey, because he's already won championships and he wants to add on to his legacy. So I think he's going to be kind of like a coach on the court. Obviously, he can still score. He can still impact the stat sheet. But as a whole, I think he'll be a net benefit to the Philadelphia 76ers. And I'll definitely be tuning in to see how it goes. Even though I'm not a fan of the super team, part of it I still find, a little intriguing to see how all those egos can work together with the goal of winning an NBA championship. But if you look at the East, honestly, besides the New York Knicks, who is going to challenge the Philadelphia 76ers and that roster they currently have? I don't see it being the Cleveland Cavaliers. Again, when your best player is Donovan Mitchell, I just don't believe you can win an NBA championship. I'm a Utah Jazz fan, and so, I saw what Donovan Mitchell did in the playoffs, and whenever the Jazz got to the playoffs, and you would look at Donovan Mitchell's stats, they would always dip during the playoffs. And in the biggest games, he was kind of like a no-show. And so, I wouldn't trust Donovan Mitchell as your leader. I don't think he's a great leader. If I had to pick a surprise team this upcoming season, a team that's going to come out of nowhere, I would honestly pick the Utah Jazz, because I kind of like the young core that they're building in Utah. Last year, with the number 5 overall pick, they drafted Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey has a lot of skills. I think he has a bright future as an NBA player. And then this year, with the number 2 overall pick, they drafted Darren Peterson. And I'm hearing that he's one of the best prospects over the last several years. And there was actually an NBA scout that said there's a 75% chance that he'll end up being a Hall of Fame player. And I know that sounds a little like off the rails, like really premature to say that. But it almost seemed like the college game was too easy for Darren Peterson. And I think the difference between Darren Peterson and AJ Debonja is, I think Darren Peterson is a more natural scorer. Even if he has an off shooting night, he'll still put up 20 plus points a game with ease. And so I think the Utah Jazz will sneak up on some people. I would have them finishing maybe as the 6th seed in the West, probably winning, maybe 45 to 50 games to be realistic. But the West is going to be very, very interesting. I think it's going to be more interesting than the East because there's better teams in the West than there is the East, or at least there's more of them. The frustrating thing is, my first attempt at this stream, I had a few people in there and we were having a good conversation. And then when my phone overheated, I had to make my second attempt at this stream. And then the second time around, I'm just not really having the traffic come in that I did the first time. But I'm sure there's got to be some NBA fans out there that want to talk about the LeBron James trade to the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm surprised at the contract. I mean, 2 years, $8 million. I mean, with all the money LeBron James has made in his career, with salary and endorsements and all the millions of dollars he already has, I feel like signing a contract 2 years, $8 million, it's like that's kind of him playing for free. Honestly. I mean, $8 million to him is nothing. And even though it says a 2-year contract, it's probably more like a year-to-year contract. It's probably more like a 1-year contract. And if things don't work out, they could just void the second year. I think that's probably how they structured this contract. So what's your prediction? Who do you think is going to be in the NBA Finals this upcoming season? Somebody, please come into the chat. I'm tired of talking by myself. So LeBron James, even at his age, what is he, 40, is he 41 years old? He still averaged a little over 20 points last year, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists. I mean, there's players in their prime that don't even average those numbers. Let me pull up the East. See if there's a team that I'm forgetting about. But honestly, I think the only team that can challenge the 76ers is the Knicks. NBA standings, yeah. Detroit Pistons, I don't see them challenging the Sixers. The Boston Celtics, I don't think they have enough ammo to challenge the Philadelphia 76ers. Outside of Jason Tatum, who scares you on the Boston Celtics? Cleveland Cavaliers, I went over this earlier. If your best player is Donovan Mitchell, I think you're in trouble, and I don't think you can win an NBA championship with Donovan Mitchell as your best player. Toronto Raptors, I feel like they're just kind of mid. There's no one on that team that really stands out to me. Atlanta Hawks, same thing. I think they're kind of a mid team. Orlando Magic, they're like a mid, maybe lower tier team. Yeah, like the Orlando Magic, I mean, they were 45 and 37 last year, but is anyone really taking them seriously? The Miami Heat, I guess the Miami Heat, who do they got on their roster? Oh, yeah, I mean, so the Heat, yeah, they traded for the Greek Freak, right? So, I mean, I think Antetokounmpo is also past his prime, so I wouldn't really be all that worried about Miami. So, yeah, I think the only team that can legitimately challenge the Philadelphia 76ers is the New York Knicks. And even though the Knicks just won the championship, you know, they lost a couple of players. So as crazy as this sounds, and this is making a lot of assumptions, assuming that this roster for the Philadelphia 76ers are going to gel and play well together, I would give them the slight edge over the New York Knicks. I think LeBron James is going to help to keep them motivated. And with all of his playoff experience, Jaylen Brown has a lot of playoff experience. Muncie got some playoff experience recently. So I think the 76ers have a legitimate shot to make the NBA Finals. Let me know what you think. Give me a prediction. So earlier I picked the Utah Jazz as a surprise team that's going to sneak up on some people out west. Let me look at the East. Who could be a surprise team in the East? Let's bring up the East. Well, what happened to the Indiana Pacers? Like they were in the finals 2 years ago, and they fought tooth and nail against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Didn't that go 7 games? And then last year, they went 19 and 63. Like, did they have any major injuries or anything? I mean, I don't follow them that closely, but I don't understand how you can make the finals one year and then only win 19 games the following year. I'm looking at the teams in the East, and I'm having a hard time coming up with a team that could surprise some people this year. I mean, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they're not going to sneak up on anybody. The Toronto Raptors are eh. The Atlanta Hawks are eh. Orlando Magic are eh. Charlotte Hornets, same thing. I mean, I think the East is actually quite weak. You know, I would put the Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks at the top, and then maybe third place, Detroit Pistons, followed by the Boston Celtics, followed by the Miami Heat, followed by the Cleveland Cavaliers. There's just a lot of bad teams in the East. Whereas out West, you know, I think those top 6 teams in the West are going to be really tough this year. Hey, Amanda, welcome back. I've been carrying the conversation by myself for the last 20 minutes. Not many people have had any opinions on the upcoming NBA season or had any comments about the LeBron James trade. But anyways, how are you doing today? What have you been up to? Oh, hang on a second. I want to write a comment in this live stream to encourage people to like and comment. Sometimes I feel like people have to be prompted. All right. Let me pull up the live stream on my laptop. Food shopping or clothes shopping? Live stream. Live. You're shopping for school? Are you picking up like pencils and notebooks and stuff like that? You're recovering from surgery. Oh yeah? If you don't mind me asking, what kind of surgery did you have? And if you don't feel comfortable answering that question, you don't have to. Just trying to make conversation. New shoes? Nice. I just went shopping for shoes recently at Kohl's. I ended up settling on a nice pair of Nikes. They were like $85. But I always have this experience when I go shopping for shoes. I don't know if this is just a Kohl's thing, but I always have a hard time finding shoes that I like because like the shoes are kind of just like scattered all over the place. Like you'll have like the top shelf with like basically all the different shoes they have, and then the boxes underneath. And then whenever you open up a box, it'll be a different type of shoe. And then it's like trying to find the right size. Like I take size 11. And so when I was at Kohl's last week, it took me, no lie, about an hour to find a pair of shoes that I felt were comfortable. And the only type of shoe I actually like wearing, the only sneaker I like to wear is running shoes because they're vented and they're nice and light. Reconstructing correction surgery. Well, I hope you have a speedy and successful recovery. Thank you for sharing. Surgeries can be scary sometimes. 6th youth. Let me know when you end up picking up. I typically end up getting Nike most times. Although New Balance puts out some pretty good shoes. I'm gonna go into it. Your channel. The only surgery, the only big surgery I ever had was when I was younger. I had my adenoids taken out. You're welcome, but you must be relieved that the surgery's over and now it's just all about recovery. I'm sure they probably gave you strict orders, what you can and can't do. Just make sure you follow them so you can recover optimally. Yes, had about 15 or more surgeries throughout my life. I'm so sorry to hear that. Um, One of the guys I went to high school with, like I see him on Facebook and all that, and he's had multiple back surgeries, and it almost seems like the surgeries don't ever help, and it makes me sad for him, because like everything goes off your back, because like your back is basically your central nervous system, and if your back is out of whack, it affects the rest of your body. So it's a really tough thing to deal with. I also have like another family member that has back issues, so I feel for him. I actually, trying to remember when I saw this video. I want to say about a year ago. I saw this surgeon, and he made this hour-long YouTube video, and he had talked about his education, where he went to school, what kind of surgeries he performed, and he talked about he was primarily a back surgeon, and after years of performing back surgeries, it was his belief and he determined that like the surgeries never helped the back get any better. And it got to the point to where he didn't believe in what he was doing anymore as a back surgeon. And he actually quit being a doctor, and him and his wife decided to take some time off and just go live out in the wilderness. It's very, very interesting. Scoliosis surgery here in 12. I'm lucky that I haven't had any complications from that surgery. NDE thought. That's good to hear. Scoliosis, that's like curvature of the back, right? Yo, what's up, Starfizz? What is up? Please remember to like this live stream to help out with the algorithm. And feel free to comment down below. Yeah, I believe it. The back's a tough thing. It really is. Because the thing is, a lot of times, I shouldn't even say a lot of times, anytime you do a surgery, you're creating scar tissue from the healing process. And then that scar tissue, I believe, can like press up against the nerves and cause pain. So I think back surgeries are like last resort. I think John Mellencamp, hang on a second. I don't want to misspeak here. Hang on a second. Yeah, I don't want to tell that story. It's kind of gory. Probably not good for YouTube. What have you been up to, Starfizz? What have you been up to? What are you doing on this Friday? Amanda, you still in the chat? You still looking at shoes? Let me know how you make out. Actually, let me go grab the shoes. I'll show you guys what I ended up picking out for $85. I wasn't happy about spending $85 on a pair of sneakers, but it is what it is. I'll be right back. So when I was at Kohl's last week, I ended up picking up these Nikes here. And the way I like my shoes is I like the bottom part of the shoe to be black. I don't like getting white bottoms because everything ends up showing up on them, and within a week, they're already dirty. So I was happy with these, and they're actually quite comfortable. I can play Roblox then, so I was playing in my VR. Oh, nice. Yeah, Starfizz, I might be streaming a game later on this evening if I have enough time. I bought a new pair of headphones, and it's supposed to have pretty good sound quality, so I want to give it a test run, possibly this evening. So keep a lookout for that live stream. LeBron going to a super team. I am shocked. Yeah, Steve, I find it pretty annoying, to be honest with you. I just want LeBron James to retire, but he keeps playing and his career keeps going on and on and on and on and on. You would never see a Kobe Bryant or a Michael Jordan, leaving their original team to go to a super team. And this is like, what, the second time LeBron has done this? Hey, Wyatt, welcome. I saw your comment, I think it was yesterday, saying you had to help your dad with something. Yeah, LeBron joining these teams to make them super teams. It's kind of it's kind of old. Anyways, Wyatt, how is your day going? It's going to be, this is a beautiful stretch of weather where I am, up in the Northeast. Great stretch of weather. It's going to be floating around 80 degrees over the next several days. Sunny, pleasant, not too hot. I would like to get outdoors at some point today and go for a nice walk. It's just like, I feel like the day goes by so fast. There's always so many things that I want to do. So I have to be like intentional on the things that I actually want to get done, because there's too many things to get done in the course of a day. Yes, I don't like that he's with Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid. Yeah, Jaylen Brown. Yeah. Yep. And the thing is, too, with that roster they have, because the East is so weak, they have a good chance of getting to the NBA Finals. It's definitely not out of the realm of possibility. That's what I don't like about LeBron James and Kevin Durant. Like Kevin Durant, I remember when he was with the Oklahoma City Thunder, they had a 3-1 lead over the Golden State Warriors. And then they completely choked that series away. Golden State came back to beat them. And then Kevin Durant, who should be pissed off and hate Golden State, instead of coming back the following year with the intent of getting revenge, joins the enemy. So at that point, I lost all respect for Kevin Durant. He can't do it on his own. Like, if Kevin Durant is the main focus of the team and he's your number one, I don't think you're winning a championship with that kind of character. But at least LeBron James, even though LeBron James, creates these super teams, or at least this is the second one, aside of like the Miami Heat team. At least he went back to Cleveland and brought a championship there. So I give him credit for that. Yeah, the Knicks are the only team that I think that can contend with the Philadelphia 76ers. If you look at the rest of the East teams, besides the Knicks, who else can contend with the 76ers? Amanda, how are you making out with the shoes? Did he pick a pair you like? Starfizz, you still in the chat? Steve, you still in the chat? J Pixie, you still in the chat? And J Pixie, let me know how you end up making out with your recovery from the surgery. Yeah, but the Celtics, I mean, they have Jason Tatum, but like, who else besides Jason Tatum scares you on that team? And I don't think Joe Mazzulla he's a good coach. I don't think he's a great coach. And I think that Joe Mazzulla has an inability to make in-game adjustments. His philosophy is strictly analytical. And, even if the team is having an off night shooting the three-point shot, he wants them to keep shooting the three-point shot, even if they're having an off night. When in my mind, I think you need to switch things up and take it to the basket, make things easier. Yeah, but the thing is, the Celtics are too reliant on the three-point shot. It's very hard to win championships when you're so reliant on the three-point shot. They neglect the mid-range game. And that's the thing I'm not too fond of with the current state of the NBA and the way they play the game. It's kind of like a European brand of basketball. And there's no bigs that have any post game anymore. Like if you watch highlights of Hakeem Olajuwon, highlights of Tim Duncan, like the footwork in the post moves, the way they could finish. I miss watching that kind of basketball. And like back then, teams had their own style of offense. So like whatever team you were watching was kind of a different brand of basketball. Like the Utah Jazz with Stockton and Malone, they were like, they really perfected the pick and roll, right? But now it's like a lot of the NBA teams play the same brand of basketball. And I think like if I'm watching a basketball game and a team is jacking up 53 pointers in a game, I don't find that very entertaining. I find that to be a very boring, lazy brand of basketball. And what do you think the teams are going to do in the Super Bowl? Like, who do I think is going to be in the Super Bowl? That's a tough one. Let me pull up the NFL teams here. Let me go through it. I need the teams in front of me. Like my favorite basketball was the early 2000s. Like even the All-Star game back then was fun, and you could tell they were trying to put on a show. And if you don't believe me, when you're done watching this stream, because I want you to stay on for a little while, obviously, but on YouTube, search 2003 All-Star game and watch how they played the All-Star game back then. Completely different than the crap they put on the court now. Isaiah Thomas All-Star team. But seriously, the 2003 All-Star game was probably my favorite All-Star game of all time. And they weren't just jacking up threes. They were trying to block shots. They were taking it to the rim. There was post play. There were three-point play. They were literally trying to entertain the fans. Great All-Star game. What do you mean they gave up on me? Jaguars. All right, I'm looking at the NFL teams here, and then I'm going to give you my prediction as to who I think is going to be in the Super Bowl. Oh yeah, I remember that now. Now that you bring that up, I remember Isaiah Thomas. Didn't he play through an injury, and he had an incredible year? He played through like some sort of injury, if I remember correctly, and then they just ended up dropping him. Yeah, he put his heart into that season. Yep, and that's, I mean, that's sports for you. These teams are only interested in you, when you're in your prime and you're performing. It doesn't matter what your name is. If you can no longer perform, you're either getting cut or they're going to trade you. It's just like anything else. It's just like employers out there. Everything is cold and everything's cutthroat. Everyone's replaceable. Dolphins, Jets. So my Super Bowl prediction. Uh, okay, here's my Super Bowl prediction. Are you ready for it? This might surprise some of you all, okay? This might surprise you. No, I'm actually going to go, and I know people are going to disagree with me, but I don't care. I am going to pick the Denver Broncos versus the LA Rams in the Super Bowl. They were one Bo Nix injury away from making the Super Bowl. They beat the Buffalo Bills in that playoff game last year. And if the Broncos had had a healthy Bo Nix, I strongly believe they would have defeated the New England Patriots and been in the Super Bowl. Now, I don't necessarily think they would have beat the Seahawks, but they would have at least made the Super Bowl. And they haven't lost anyone really. I think, if anything, they've only gotten better. They came close to making the Super Bowl last year, and they're going to be better this year. They just added to it. They just added to their team through the draft and free agency. Hey, what's going on? Long time no see. What's up, yo? But interesting, we both have the Rams in there. We just disagree on the AFC team. Yeah, but the thing with Josh Allen is it's not just one bad game. It's he's he's been eliminated in the playoffs how many years in a row? Like 5 years in a row? Is it 5 years in a row he's been eliminated in the playoffs? And you only have so many shots at this. And like you can see now that they're having to pay Josh Allen all this money, that's part of the reason why their wide receiver group is thinner than it's been in years past. Like they had a much better wide receiver group before they had to pay him. I don't know about basketball that much. I only know about soccer. That's fine. Bo Nix is injury prone, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried about his ankle. No, he hasn't. His knee is all right. It's his ankles that he has a history with. He's had a history of ankle problems. His knee's been all right. But I think the Broncos, I think they need to try to keep him in the pocket more. I wouldn't really advise having too many intentional runs with him. That was just like really bad timing to have a season-ending injury. It was like, I remember that game, and I was like, that Bills-Broncos game last year, that playoff game was insane. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I remember like when Denver won that game, like I was elated. I was excited. It's been a long time since the Broncos won a playoff game. And then, 1 hour after all that excitement, I'm on the computer and I see Bo Nix out for the remainder of the playoffs. And I was shocked because like I watched the game, I saw him finish the game, and I'm like, how does he have a season-ending injury when I saw him finish the game? And then I read that he injured his ankle, and I just couldn't believe it. Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Like, we have to see how Patrick Mahomes is going to bounce back from his injury. Knee injuries are, even though players are being able to continue their career after a knee injury, if you look at Mahomes' game, I'd say like maybe 50% of the time he's on time with the football and he plays within the structure. And then the other 50% of his game, he's kind of ad-libbing and he's kind of playing backyard football. So he kind of relies on his athleticism. That's like part of his game. And if he loses some of his athleticism because of that knee injury, I could see his game taking a dip. And the Chiefs, they traded away their best cornerback in McDuffie. They have an aging defense, and I don't necessarily trust their young wide receivers. So I think the Chiefs are going to take a step back this year. I think it's going to come down to the Broncos and the Chargers in the AFC West. Like I've heard that Patrick Mahomes plans to play week 1, but I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah, they got Kenneth Walker, but I think the Chiefs' offensive line is going to have some problems. Their team's kind of old. Is Travis Kelce coming back for another year? Yeah, the Rams actually played the Seahawks better than the Patriots played the Seahawks. But even when Patrick Mahomes and Chiefs go 9-8, that's still a guy you don't want to face in the playoffs. I'm not afraid of Patrick Mahomes. I say bring him on. Bring him on. As a Denver Broncos fan, bring him on. Travis Kelce is doing one more year. See, like Travis Kelce doesn't scare me anymore. The Chiefs wide receivers don't scare me. And with Kenneth Walker back there, like I would gear up to stop him and make those wide receivers beat you. Bills fans hate Patrick Mahomes. I bet. But you can't be afraid of anybody. Especially if you're an NFL team, you can't be afraid of anybody. Like even when the Broncos had horrible quarterback play for years, they would always play the Chiefs tough. Who did the Broncos lose? They lost John Franklin Myers, but besides him, yeah, they may have overpaid for Jalen Waddle, but Dre Greenlaw did nothing for him last year. The guy can't stay healthy. He's another player that can't stay healthy. So I don't think Dre Greenlaw was much of a loss because he didn't play much for them at all last year. Salo, what are you talking about? And yeah, they did overpay for Jalen Waddle, but the thing is, who are the Broncos going to get in the first round of the draft that were going to be as good as Jalen Waddle day one? And I think the Broncos are gearing up at an attempt to go win a Super Bowl while Bo Nix is still on that rookie contract. So it makes sense that they acquire Jalen Waddle because they need a speeder receiver who can make big plays, and they didn't have a big playmaker on that offense last year. So I actually think it was a smart move. John Franklin Myers, like he's a pretty good defensive lineman, but I think he's a jag. He's just another guy. He can be replaced. Hi, Harper. Yeah, I don't really think the Broncos lost anyone significant. I think they've added more than they've lost. And while they probably won't win 15 games like they did last year, even if, like, say they win 11 or 12 games, even though they win less games than last year, I think they're a better overall team. I just don't believe one good year with no Patrick Mahomes and the way Pooch, you're going to be amazing again. I don't think the Broncos were amazing last year. They won 15 games, and a lot of them were close. But I think, they have a really tough defense. And if the offense can finally pick up the slack and be halfway decent, they have a good chance. You were telling me about swimming? I don't recall. So then at the Patriots had an easier schedule than the Broncos. The Patriots had a layup of a schedule. And then when Drake May went into the playoffs and he played against better defenses, if you look at his numbers in the playoffs, they were terrible. Let me bring up his numbers in the playoffs last year. Hang on. Da-da-da-da-da. So, Drake May in the playoffs last year, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, an 82 rating. This is the stat that really alarms me. In the playoffs last year, which would have been what? 3 games? Yeah, 3 games or 4 games. He was sacked 21 times in the playoffs. He was sacked 21 times just in the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, people want to talk up Drake May like he's the next best thing, but I just say pump the brakes on that. Do I think he's good? Yeah. Do I know that he's going to be great? I don't know. I don't think we have enough information on him yet. We got to see him perform against good defenses. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. We're just talking sports on here. I don't know if you watch any sports. Did you see week 1 game, Bills versus Ravens? I did not see that. What was the final on that? Sorry to hear that, Stella. That's terrible news. But you'll make it through. Stella, make sure you like this live stream. I think Lamar Jackson is exiting his prime. I think his trajectory is downward. Because, like, let's be honest, Lamar Jackson, he is very reliant on his athleticism. And you know, when his initial reads aren't there, he has this natural inclination to take off and run. And I already think with all these injuries that he's starting to lose his athletic ability. And when he can no longer outrun linebackers, I don't necessarily know that his game is going to age well. Because if he has to hang in the pocket and be on time because he loses that athletic ability, I think that's going to hurt his game immensely. Oh, so some of those pictures that I post, they're older videos before I grew my hair out. Are you a Raiders fan or a Dallas Cowboys fan? I'm a Denver Broncos fan. So I don't like the Raiders. They're the enemy. Bills were down 40-25 with 4 minutes left and the Bills won. Oh, damn. I vaguely remember that now that you're coming with the final scores. Yeah, I vaguely remember that. Raiders are not good. The Raiders are a poor run franchise. They haven't been good for a while. I do remember that game where the Pats were up 21-0, and the Bills scored on what? I think they scored touchdowns on 5 straight drives. That was the game in Gillette Stadium, right? Well, I would hope they would win a game during the NFL season. I mean, they play 17 of them. They have like 2 good players. They have a good tight end and a good running back. Yeah, I remember that game. I mean, I think the Patriots went into halftime up 21-0, like they were just gonna sleepwalk their way to a win. Are you in Gallup? What do you mean? What do you mean by Gallup? It's okay. You don't need to know about basketball. And Josh Allen puked, and then it was game over. Yep. But I remember that game, the town Gallup. No. Where's the town Gallup, anyways? I've never heard of it. Guys, I will be back in like 1 minute. I just have to use the bathroom real quick. Please stay in the stream. I'll be right back. Think about more sports questions. I'll be right back. All right, I am back, guys. Hope you're still in the stream. Oh, it's by Phoenix? No, I'm not even close to Phoenix. I'm on the opposite side of the country. Yes, I know where Phoenix is. Yep. Very hot weather over there. It's so crazy to think the NFL regular season is going to start in what, a month and a half? Time flies by. Time flies by. Wyatt, you still there? Anyone that's new, that has come into the stream, let me know what you think about the LeBron James trade to the Philadelphia 76ers. 2 years, $8 million. Do you think they will reach the NBA Finals? And if they do you think they will win it all? And I encourage anyone that comes into the stream to comment down below and like the stream, and even consider subscribing if you are enjoying the content. You go down the Flagstaff and then going down to Gallup. Okay, so Gallup is close to Phoenix. Is that where you're from? Yeah, I live on the other side of the country. I live up in I live in the Northeast. I live in the Northeast. I live in New England. Yeah, that was kind of unexpected. If you didn't catch the beginning of the stream, this is my second attempt at this stream. My first attempt, I was probably 20 minutes into the stream. I was streaming in my car, and my phone ended up overheating because my windshield was facing the sun. And because my mind was in the stream, I wasn't thinking that my phone was going to get really hot. And literally, like, my phone became disabled. I couldn't even use it or access it for about 10 minutes. So I had to come home and redo the stream in my house. And I had that AC blasting in my car. It's still overheated. Who will you pick, USA or England? I mean, I can't really pick because I've never been to England. I would have to like experience England for like at least a year to make that determination. You know what I mean? Two very different countries. Like Europe as a whole is so different from the USA. I live in New England. Like towards Boston and Massachusetts. No, I don't live in the Philippines, no. I live in New England in the United States, towards Boston, Massachusetts. I see Buddy 21. I believe you are new in here. I'm trying to remember if I've ever seen your screen name in here before. But see Buddy 21 giving you the shout out. I see you. I guess Wyatt has left the chat. And he's my sports talk buddy. We have some good conversations on here. Hopefully he comes back on. You've been on my live stream before, see, buddy? Like, I see a lot of different people coming here, so it's hard to remember every one of these names. I think they meant to say I've been on your stream before. But yeah, any videos or pictures that I put on YouTube where I have short hair, it's older. It's before I grew my hair out. Hi Franklin, I remember you in the last stream. Welcome. How are you doing? What's good? Franklin, please find it in your heart to like this live stream, guys. Guys, anyone that's in here, please like this live stream because it helps the algorithm and it helps more people to come in here. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm really trying to grow a community on here. So whenever I live stream, I have like some regulars that come in. Like I have this goal that I really want to reach, and I really want to monetize my channel. So I really need to hit that 4,000 hours of watch time. So I need to continue to do these live streams, but I need help from you guys. You know, you guys make the live streams, because without you in here, I would just be talking to myself, and that wouldn't be very fun. I'm doing some YouTube videos today. I got to take my car to the car wash and clean that. I got to figure out what I'm doing for dinner tonight. I also want to post a couple of YouTube shorts. I might do another live stream later on this evening. And I'm looking at the time, and it's already 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I just feel like the days aren't long enough to do everything I want to do. I'm on 19 subs now, so yay. So, good news, once you hit 50 subscribers, you can start live streaming if you want to. But I appreciate you, Church, for trying to be on all of my live streams. And you know, if you can't make one of the streams, it's not a huge deal. But whenever you do have time and you feel like being in my stream, you're welcome to be in here. And like I said, it would be awesome to create like a nice little community on here where we can come on and just talk about our days and, you know, just be like friends, right? I really want to do like more streams outdoors, but I feel like whenever I do the live streams outside, I feel like the quality of the video dips, because like when you're outside and you're dealing with like the sunlight, the exposure level on your camera is like constantly having to adjust, so it drops the bit rate, and then when the bit rate drops, the quality of the video dips and it becomes like all grainy. So I don't really know what to do about that. Yeah, you can talk about soccer if you want to. I don't know, like you don't know much about basketball. I don't really know that much about soccer, but if you want to talk about soccer, that's fine. Yeah, it's annoying because I want to be outdoors right now. Maybe like instead of like walking around with the phone, maybe I could pick like a nice little spot outside and like just put the phone on a tripod. And maybe if the phone is just stationary outside, the quality will remain high. You like Minecraft? Nice. I was thinking about doing like a live stream while I play Minecraft, but I just don't know if you guys would be interested in that, because like the only like when I do Minecraft, I only do the creative mode. I don't do the survival mode, which people probably find more interesting. I usually just do creative mode, and I just like build like random stuff. I actually, like in my Minecraft, I actually created like a nice little area. So let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing some of the buildings I've created. And then maybe if you guys are willing to come on one of my live streams, I could show you my Minecraft. I was only alive if you do a Minecraft also. Oh, you do that too? Yeah, I don't, because the thing is like the survival mode, I feel like there's a lot of grind in that. Like you have to collect all these materials, and then like there's so many ways you can die. And like when I go on Minecraft, I just want it to be like a peaceful experience where nobody's bothering me, and I just want to build things. So that's why I gravitate towards the creative mode versus the survival mode. if that makes any sense. Like, I don't want Minecraft to be stressful for me. Oh, God. I think after this stream, I will probably go outside, cut the grass, take a shower, figure out what I'm going to do for dinner, and then probably maybe do like another live stream this evening. So keep a lookout for me. I can beat Minecraft in 30. No, you can't. Hey, what's going on? You can't beat Minecraft in 30 minutes. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, the more likes on the live stream, the more the algorithm is going to recommend my live stream to people that are in the YouTube shorts. So I'm hoping over time I can grow like a nice little community on here. We can just come hang out together. Would you guys be interested in me live streaming Grand Theft Auto 6 when that comes out? Is that something you would watch, guys? Oh, was it really? Nice. Probably because you've watched some of my previous live streams, so the algorithm knows that. The AI on YouTube is quite interesting. I was actually messing around with the AI and I was asking it questions about like my channel's performance, what it does well, what it needs to improve upon. And it's actually like quite impressive, some of the feedback the AI can give me about my channel. I just learned about it the other night. I didn't even know it was there. When my hair was like a little bit shorter, I got like a ridiculous amount of people coming into the videos and commenting that I look like Adam Sandler. I don't really see it, but I'm not making this up. I've probably had a total of like 90 to 100 different people come into my videos and tell me I look like Happy Gilmore. I just found it to be funny. I'm like, I don't think I look like him, but I wish I had his money. I made the YouTube AI speak a different language. Yeah, like when it comes to artificial intelligence, people fall on different like sides of the spectrum. Some people hate it, some people love it, some people fall in the middle and they're kind of like in the middle on it. But for me, I watched Happy Gilmore. Yeah, I love Adam Sandler. Seems like a really nice stand-up kind of a guy. And Wembu is my favorite YouTuber. Yeah, Adam Sandler just seems like a regular kind of a guy, the way he acts around people. I think he's from Manchester, New Hampshire, and I've seen pictures of him taking pictures with fans like at a local mall. I've seen him go to like elementary schools in Manchester, New Hampshire to visit the kids. He goes to restaurants and says hi to the fans. He just seems like a regular dude that's had a successful career, and he still finds a way to remain humble even though he's a millionaire. Okay, no problem. Hope to see you in the next stream. My favorite Adam Sandler movie would be Reign Over Me. It's unlike any other movie he's ever done. But I think he plays the character well. And basically, like, his wife and I think two daughters ended up dying on one of the 9/11 planes, and so it's just him, and he lives by himself, and he's severely depressed. And then one of his college roommates ends up seeing him at a coffee shop, and he can see that he's very depressed and he's in need of some help, and his old college roommate ends up helping him and getting his life back on track. So it's like a really nice story. So if you've never seen Reign Over Me with Adam Sandler, I would highly recommend it. It's my favorite Adam Sandler movie. Oh, really? I mean, me personally, um, like, you can choose to hate AI, but it's going to happen regardless. It's not going to go away anytime soon. So I'm learning to just embrace it. Like, I do use it from time to time. I used it for a lot of my thumbnails recently. It saves me a lot of time. And you can make like some pretty cool thumbnails with ChatGPT. I love There's an AI Allen Iverson. We talking about practice? Wyatt, we talking about practice? That was like, one of the funniest post game. That was one of the funniest post games ever. Like, honestly, like, Allen Iverson, pound for pound, was like the toughest basketball player I've ever seen. I remember, I think it was his rookie year, he crossed up Michael Jordan. And the most impressive thing on Allen Iverson crossing up Michael Jordan wasn't the crossover, it was Michael Jordan almost blocked the shot, even though Allen Iverson put that sick crossover on him. And it just goes to show the incredible athlete that Michael Jordan was. Oh, see, buddy, thank you. Oh, Wyatt, did you see that basketball player that's trying out for the Lakers? He's playing in the summer league, but he has like 20 different nicknames. They're calling him Milk Chamberlain. Hang on, let me pull up the nicknames. It's so funny. Hang on. Yeah, so there's this Lakers player that's playing in the summer league. His name is Robbie Avila. You got to see this guy. Like, he doesn't even look like a basketball player, and he wears like pretty unique looking glasses. But some of his nicknames: Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Milk Chamberlain, Larry Nerd, Shaquille Oatmeal, Rob Wave. It's like some of these nicknames that people have come up for him are just absolutely hilarious. But look him up on YouTube. Like, if you saw this guy at a grocery store, like, you wouldn't think he's a basketball player. So it's Robbie, Robbie, last name Avila, Avila. Look what this guy looks like. When I first saw videos of him on YouTube, I literally thought it was AI, because I'm like, there's no way this guy's a basketball player. And honestly, I hope he makes the Lakers team, just so people can continue to come up with nicknames for him. So funny. I really thought it was AI. Robbie Avila. best known for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Milt Chamberlain, Larry Nerd. Who's my favorite hockey player? Joe Sakic. And then my all-time favorite hockey player, probably Joe Sakic. And then my favorite current NHL player, probably a toss-up between Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar. Oh yeah, you're having ramen noodles? Oh my god. I'll probably be streaming for like another 13 minutes. So I'll go for an hour and a half. And then I have some things I need to attend to that I want to get done. And then I get to figure out what I'm having for dinner. And then I will try doing another stream this evening. I don't really have a favorite type of ramen. I did go to like a ramen restaurant before, and it was pretty good. I don't like to cook, so I'm always looking for quick meals. Wyatt, did you look up that guy? Milk Chamberlain? And everyone that's in the chat, please like this live stream. It would be greatly appreciated. My goal is to eventually get 100 likes on one live stream. I know we can get there. Might just take a little time. Mine is top ramen chicken flavor. Would take a lot of live streams. Yeah, but all it takes is one video, man. That's all it takes. Wyatt, I was thinking about doing some like regular long form videos on YouTube, just talking about sports. What do you think? You think I should do some regular long form videos talking about sports? Because I feel like, or do IRL stuff, because like sports is like the easiest thing for me to talk about. Because like literally there's news stories every day in the world of sports, so there's always something to talk about. And you know, I feel like it's much more positive talking about sports than it is talking about politics. You know what I'm saying? And even if I get just a few people that watch the video all the way through, that could significantly help my watch time. It's just hard though, because I really lean towards live streams much more than regular long form videos. I enjoy the live streams much more. I like interacting with people. I like talking with people. And like whenever I do the regular long form video, I just feel like it's kind of strange, because I'm making a video and I'm kind of like just talking to the phone and I'm having a conversation with myself. And you know, that takes a lot of practice. That takes a lot of repetition to be able to do a video in like one take without messing up a single word. And because I don't like making too much cuts in a video. It makes the video kind of messy. But I was thinking about doing sports videos. But I don't think I would niche down, like I would just talk about one sports team. I think I would just talk about like any current popular stories that people want to hear about. Uh, I don't talk about politics too much on my channel. I might get into it a little bit at times, especially if somebody does ask me a question, because I do want to keep people engaged. Um, but like, to be honest with you, um, I don't really like what the Democrats or Republicans are doing currently. Um, I am not married, no. Yeah, like I don't support what the Democrats are doing. I don't support what the Republicans are doing. I feel like we really need a party of logic, like a party that is going to look out for the best interest of the working class people. But I feel like both sides are completely out of touch with reality, and I think they're selfish. And I think even though like people in government are supposed to be working for us, I think they're selfish and they're only serving their self interests. I do have a girlfriend, yes. And as long as you have lobbyists involved in politics, um, politicians are going to continue to be paid off. And I think that's a problem. I do think we need a president that's like at least in their 40s or 50s. I think we need to stop going for these these old folks. Between Biden and Trump, I mean, they're both well into their 70s, and I think we need somebody that's younger, that's forward thinking, that's thinking about the future and how to set us up in the best way possible to move forward. And like for me, the two most important things that I would like to see changes to is we need to do something with our healthcare system. It's too privatized, it's too expensive, and I believe we need a universal healthcare where everyone has the same healthcare. And it doesn't matter whether you have a job or not, you will continue to have healthcare. And we live in a country where if you lose your job, you lose your health insurance. And I don't think that's right. I think the basic human right is to have health insurance. I think health insurance is a basic human right. And I also think that we need to make changes to education. And that's a bit of a tougher thing to change because these universities and colleges, they're private institutions, so they can charge whatever they want for education. But I think it's absolutely ridiculous what these universities and these colleges are charging kids just to get a degree. And not only do 18-year-olds, like 18-year-olds graduating from high school, like they're being forced to figure out at such a young age what they want to do for the rest of their life. And their brain isn't fully developed yet. The frontal lobe of your brain, which is involved in decision making, isn't fully developed until age 25. So I actually think it's quite predatory how these universities and colleges are allowing these, what I can still consider kids, to take out these massive student loans in which a lot of them will never pay off. So I believe that the education system and the healthcare system needs to be reformed. We need to make sweeping changes to both. And if there was a presidential candidate that ran on those two things, and that's the only thing they made improvements to, I would definitely support that candidate. But I would also be highly skeptical that they're just talking BS, because a lot of presidential candidates will say whatever they feel they have to say to get elected. So they kind of just stick their finger in the air and feel which way the wind's blowing. Sorry guys, I kind of just went off on a tangent, but once I start talking politics, I can feel my blood pressure just go. Like, I was a supporter of Andrew Yang. He's relatively young, and I think he's forward thinking, and I think he had some good ideas. But I don't think he'll. I don't know that he'll ever be a serious presidential candidate. I don't know that he has the money and resources to do so. He doesn't necessarily have the name recognition. But you got to think that the jobs as we know it are going to be completely different in the next 10 to 20 years. A lot of jobs will be eliminated with artificial intelligence, and a lot of new jobs will be created, meaning the workforce will need a completely new set of skills. And they're going to be jobs that we can't even imagine right now, currently. And so, but one of Andrew Yang's ideas was universal basic income. And he was talking about, everyone getting $1,000 a month. Now, $1,000 a month isn't enough to live off of, but if you happen to lose your job, $1,000 a month would pay some of your bills. So you want to get into such a big hole that, you might not possibly ever get out of it. And, $1,000 a month, that might be just enough money where people would be willing to take more chances. No, I do not like that the government watches our phones and iPads. There is no privacy whatsoever. And, when I'm doing a YouTube live stream, obviously, I know I'm not getting any privacy because I'm putting myself out there. I expect to have interactions with people. But if I'm in a room by myself and my phone's kind of just sitting on the nightstand, I don't want my phone listening to me. I think that's an invasion of privacy. And, they can say whatever they want to say. I do believe that we are being listened to. I want to go out of my way to put an Alexa in my house. Because those for sure do listen to you. But I think it's important that as a country, we continue to have free speech. Hey, do we have a LeBron fan in here? We get a LeBron fan? You happy LeBron went to the Philadelphia 76ers? Hey, Ray. Whenever I start talking about politics, I can feel my mood start to change and my blood boil. And I wouldn't even call what we're in right now a capitalist society. It doesn't even feel like capitalism anymore. It kind of feels like greedism, where greed is everywhere in everything. And I think as a country we've lost a lot of values. In some aspects we're advancing as a country. I mean, specifically technology. But a lot of the basic things like healthcare and education, we just can't seem to ever get it right. And that's the frustrating part. But I guess in reforming both those areas, there's no money to be made in that, so there's no interest to fix it. But I think over time, I think it's quite possible, because I believe everything in life has a window, and at some point, whatever it is, it will expire. And I think universities and colleges, they've been in style for a while. But I think as time goes on, um, it could be quite possible that less and less people choose to attend um, college or these Ivy League universities. I mean, you can go on YouTube right now, and if you're intentional and your heart is really set on learning a specific thing, you can literally get a good education on YouTube if you're intentional about it. I mean, you're not going to get a degree or a certificate, but you can become educated. So I think that day will come where institutions like universities will go out of style. Because if you think about it too, like people that are going to college now, not only do they have to worry about the debt that they're going to take on, but they also have to worry about, is the major that I am going for, is that going to be outsourced by AI? It's just another added layer. What do you think, guys? I'm gonna go for 8 more minutes and then I gotta end the stream. So let me know if there's anything you wanna end the stream on specifically. Oh, hey. I had this large iced coffee, but tell me why it has no effect on me. Honestly, I think my body is so accustomed to caffeine that it has minimal effect on it. But I guess it makes sense considering I have coffee every single day. I've played some Resident Evil. A couple years ago, I was at my friend's house, and I think it was on the PlayStation 4. I don't remember what Resident Evil it was, but I tried the virtual reality Resident Evil, and that shit was trippy because it made you feel like you were in the world. It was pretty cool. But I found the thing with the VR, the virtual reality, is like I could only be on it for so long because it would start making me dizzy. So I would feel like I'd only be able to do like 30 minutes at a time. But I always wished that I could have done like a Red Dead Redemption 2 in virtual reality. That would have been a really cool world to like feel like you're in. Any other questions, guys, before I go? Another 5 minutes. The countdown begins. I figure I'll end the stream at 100 minutes. I'm at 95 minutes right now. I don't know why, but I like to end the stream at like an even hour or minute. Honestly, like, I can't really give you a favorite. Because while I've played them, I haven't played all of them, and I haven't played them all that much. So I guess, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, I don't have enough time playing them to really give you an answer. Oh, by the way, guys, I wasn't even aware of this, but when I was on the Dunkin' app ordering an iced coffee the other week, I noticed like in the section where like you can add cream or milk, you can also add like coffee milk to your iced coffee, which gives it like a nice flavor. And I didn't even know that like putting coffee milk in your iced coffee was a thing until I saw it on their menu. And I've gotten it a couple of times now. I order a large iced coffee with coffee milk and a caramel swirl, and it has like a really nice flavor to it. I don't know if any of you are like coffee lovers like me. I feel like you either love coffee or you hate coffee. All right, guys, I have some things that I want to attend to. I've enjoyed this live stream. I'm grateful that you came on to spend some time with me. I hope to see you in future streams, and let's try to make this a nice little community where we can get together on a regular basis and have some nice conversations about various things. I'll try being on again later this evening. It'll either be another stream like this, or I might stream a video game. I'll see how I feel later on. But I hope to talk to you all soon, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Take care, guys.